one of the biggest challenges for me was getting it to do it with the click of a button. So I'm like super, because now you can do it in bulk. You could literally select all your contacts and add that tag to like as many people as you want. And it's just up to as many credits that you have to spend on the calls and how much server capacity there is to handle all those calls. And now you can call a whole list at once with one VA. Like crazy. Going on, y'all? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir. What's up?
Olu.
Good evening. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, my guy.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all tapping in and helping me out with this.
Miss that pretty face.
Hell yeah.
I miss y'all faces, man. Awesome, awesome. So I'm super grateful to have you guys here. I hope this adds some value, and you guys are gonna add a ton of value to me by helping me break the bot. I hope you guys brought some like really tough objections. I really want you guys to like break this thing seriously, because it's gonna help me get it better. So what we're gonna do is basically you're just gonna put your name in the chat if you want to role play with the bot and give me your phone number, and then I'm just gonna share my screen, upload it into the system, and have it call you, and then you'll just role play away, and we'll see what happens. Does that sound cool?
Let's go.
Sounds good.
Awesome. I love it.
Perfect. I'm excited to see what happens here.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited. I'm sure y'all are gonna bring some objections that I haven't hit it with yet, so I'm really looking forward to it. Does anyone want to go first?
I just want to say I really do want to participate, but I'm driving in the rain. So I'm here, but I'm just listening.
All good, all good. And if you don't want to role play, but you just want to give feedback, trust me, I appreciate that too. I think that'll be super helpful as well. So if you're just listening and you're just like, hey, that sounded, I think it could improve on this, definitely feel free
Yeah,
to.
absolutely. I got you.
I'll go, dude. So Malin's one of my partners, and Chris is on here too. They're both on.
Oh, nice. Okay, perfect,
I'm
perfect, bro.
also I'm also driving in the rain, but listening for sure. I think the biggest thing I wanted to see is how it would act or how it would react to questions about, uh, our reputation or what about your company, like, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Integrity questions. Yeah.
You want role play, Chris? That way you could hit it with your objections, bro. Do it.
You go first, B. I'm driving in the rain with the kid in the car, man. I want to listen.
Perfect time
But
to role play.
Well,
you
yeah,
already
I
know.
guess I could put it in. I'll put it in. I guess I could do it while driving. Get it, girl.
There you go.
Okay, as
Yeah.
long as y'all are safe. As long as y'all are safe.
I'll pull over real quick so I can at least just put the number in. Okay. All right. So how does it work? Are you gonna text it to me or?
Yeah, so literally just drop your number in the chat and I'm gonna basically add you as a contact in our system and then it'll call you. It can do inbound too. But I'm gonna have it call you guys for this one. All good. Let's try this when you get back in. Let's try again with you and you can hit it with some tough objections. Is anyone like in front of their speaker? I know Brian said he wanted to go and then we had someone in the chat too. Heather said she's ready to rock and roll. So let's go. Let's do it back to back. Brian and then Heather will get you in here.
Go ahead and let Heather go.
Heather? Okay, perfect.
Get it.
All right,
Ladies
Heather.
first.
Ladies first. That's how we do it. Okay, perfect.
Okay, well, I'm pretty new, guys, so bear with me. I'll do my best.
Hey,
Hey, me too, sister. All good.
and then we'll just put your phone right here and it'll give you a call in a second. So when it calls you, just connect and put yourself on speaker, okay?
Absolutely.
Feel comfortable, all right? We're testing the bot, not you.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I'm adding you here. Then I'm gonna add the tag and you should get a call any second now.
Okay. Hello?
Hey, Heather.
Yes.
Hey there. How are you doing today? This is Mary, and I'm calling about the property you mentioned selling. It was referred to me by one of our referral companies. They thought we would be a good fit for you. They mentioned that you might be wanting to sell your property. Is that correct?
Who's calling?
Oh, sorry about that. This is Mary calling from your company name. We're local real estate investors looking to purchase a few homes and land in the area. We can talk about your home and your situation for a few minutes and give you a few options that might work or point you in the right direction if we're not a fit. Are you still considering selling?
I might be. How did you get my number?
Hey, I'll be honest, I don't work in the marketing department. Those guys get the information from our referral partners, but are you interested in selling a property? We can discuss the details and see if we can find a solution that works for you.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I'll see what you have to say.
Totally understand, Heather. Take your time to think it over. I promise I won't take up too much of your time. The point of this call today is to see if your property qualifies in getting an offer as is. And forgive me if the call breaks up. The phone connection has been weird today. Can you hear me okay right now?
I can.
Great, glad to hear that. By the end of this phone call, I'm going to give you one of two things: an approval with an offer appointment or a denial with a reason why. All I ask from you is that you are able to make a confident yes or no decision. If it is something you would like to move forward with, great. If not, no big deal. At least we gave it our best shot and you know exactly what your options look like. Sound fair?
Sounds good.
Awesome, Heather. Now can you grab a pen and paper? I'm going to have you jot down my contact information. There will also be some information I'm confident you will want to write down if you can get your property approved today. My name is Mary. We are with your company name, and this is the number to the office, your office number. Our website is your website URL. Can you repeat that for me just to make sure you got everything?
Sure. It's your phone number, your website with your URL, and you're Mary.
Sorry for the confusion there. Let me clarify. My name is Mary, and our company is your company name. The phone number to reach us is your office number, and our website is your website URL. Got it? Just want to make sure you have all the correct information.
Got it. We're good.
Perfect, Heather. Now let's talk about the property. Is there anyone currently living in the property?
No, actually the house has been vacant, I'd say probably for 2-3 months.
Got it. The house has been vacant for a couple of months. Thanks for letting me know. How long have you owned the property?
It's been 5 years.
All right, so you've owned the property for about 5 years. That's good to know. What made you consider selling it now?
Honestly, we had tenants in it and sick of the tenants. So it's with everything that's going on with the taxes going up and everything, just decided to sell it. We can't get tenants in there.
I understand dealing with difficult tenants can be frustrating. And with the current situation in taxes, it can add to the challenges. Selling the property sounds like a reasonable decision. How long have you been thinking about selling?
Just probably the last 6 months, 4 months, something like that, since we've had problems.
I see. So you've been considering selling for the past 4 months or so due to the ongoing problems with tenants. That makes sense. What do you hope to accomplish or achieve by selling the property?
We'd like to make some money.
Of course, making money is always a great motivation. Selling the property can definitely help you achieve that. Now let's talk about your favorite thing about this home or neighborhood. What stands out to you?
The location is good. It's close to the hospital. It's quiet. It's a mature area.
That's great to hear, Heather. Having a good location near the hospital and in a quiet, mature area can definitely be appealing. Now, are you the only one involved in the decision to sell the house, or are there others who need to be consulted?
No, my boyfriend's also involved. We both own it.
Got it. So you and your boyfriend both own the property. It's important to have everyone on the same page when making a decision like this. Now imagine you could wave a magic wand in a perfect world. What would you be hoping to walk away with from the sale? Even a ballpark figure?
I think we'd be probably looking at about 485.
Thanks for sharing that, Heather. So you're looking at a ballpark figure of around $485,000. That gives us a good starting point to work with. Now let's talk about the condition of the property. If you had a $40,000 Home Depot gift card, what would you spend it on for the property?
There's probably some closet doors that need to be replaced and some painting. There's not much to be done to the house, really. You probably might need to do one of the central air in a couple years, and the roof is about 14 years old, but they're both good.
I appreciate you sharing that, Heather. It's good to know that there's not much to be done to the house currently. Just to clarify, you mentioned that the central air might need to be replaced in a couple of years, and the roof is about 14 years old, but still in good condition, correct?
That's right, yeah.
Got it. Thanks for confirming that. Now let's talk about the timeline. If the underwriter were to come back with an offer that made sense for you, when were you looking to open up escrow? Are you thinking about a 30-day timeline, or would you prefer more time?
You know what? Probably the sooner the better on this one. Just because it's sitting vacant, I think that we'd be willing to have it closed as soon as possible.
Wow.
I understand, Heather. Since the property is currently vacant, you prefer to have it closed as soon as possible. We'll definitely take that into consideration. Now, there are a few things that might prevent us from moving forward. Is it okay if we talk about those things for a moment?
Yeah, I just don't understand how this is gonna work though. Like, how are you going to make this happen right away in like a couple weeks?
I totally get where you're coming from, Heather. It might seem a bit overwhelming to think about how everything can happen so quickly. But the cool thing about us is that we have a streamlined process and a team that specializes in these types of transactions. We've helped many homeowners in similar situations, and we can definitely make it work within a couple of weeks if everything aligns. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I don't even know what kind of company I'm dealing with right now. I'm not quite sure what you guys do.
I completely understand your concern, Heather. Let me clarify. We are a real estate investment company that specializes in buying properties directly from homeowners like yourself. We aim to provide a hassle-free and efficient selling experience. Our team handles all the paperwork, and we can offer you a fair cash offer for your property. We've been in the business for quite some time and have helped many homeowners in similar situations. Does that give you a better idea of what we do?
Yeah, that does. That helps quite a bit. Yeah. And then, and as far as like who's going to deal with the lawyers and that type of thing?
Great question, Heather. We have a team of professionals, including lawyers, who will handle all the legal aspects of the transaction. You won't have to worry about dealing with any of that. We'll take care of everything and guide you through the process. Our goal is to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible for you. Does that alleviate any concerns you may have about the legal side of things?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Absolutely, Heather. I'm glad to hear that it alleviates your concerns. We have a dedicated team that handles all the legal aspects.
Can I get a bowl and a wrap every time?
Oh, I apologize for any confusion. I was just about to ask if you have any other questions or concerns before we wrap up the call. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
I don't think so. I mean, I guess there'll be more questions down the road as if, you know, something comes out of this. But for now, that seems like that's okay. I'm gonna have to pass this past my boyfriend though.
No problem at all, Heather. It's completely understandable that you would want to discuss this with your boyfriend. Take your time to go over everything and feel free to reach out to us if you have any further questions or if you're ready to move forward. We're here to help. Also, just to clarify, what time will you be available today or tomorrow for us to give you a call back?
I don't think I'll be available, not today anymore. We're pretty booked up and I'm working all day tomorrow. I'm thinking maybe on Sunday or Monday.
I completely understand, Heather. Sundays and Mondays work for me. I'll make a note to give you a call back on either Sunday or Monday. We'll discuss any further questions you may have and go from there. Thank you for letting me know. Talk to you soon.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome, Heather. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. I'll make sure to give you a call back on Sunday or Monday. If anything comes up in the meantime, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Heather. Take care and have a great day. Bye for now.
Wow.
What do you think?
That was wild. That's incredible, actually.
It's weird, right? That's
It's great because I'm trying to throw some curveballs, you know, and I don't expect her to be able to like react that fast. And she's reacting so fast. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it learns over time. So, like, it'll continue to get better at this, and then we'll start passing it like custom variables. So it'll be able to say things you might have mentioned on the last call or your last motivation or asking price.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's super cool.
Yeah. Any feedback? Anybody got any things that they're like,
I got
questions about?
something.
Oh, bring it
I-
up. Let's go.
At first she came off a little aggressive, but then
Okay.
she, after talking to Heather, she kind of matched her tone a little bit, is what I noticed, and I like that.
I'll let her know you said that, Diane.
You know what? Actually, it's true. I felt that too. That was a good observation because I did feel that too. Like at first she was kind of like very super business. And then after, yeah, I was kind of like talking to her a bit and asking a couple questions. She like became a little bit more personable.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that I can kind of like feed it at the beginning. Like if I basically fed it my script, which at the beginning it does try to like let them know who we are, what we are, to kind of set the conversation a little bit different from a lot of people. But if you wanted to feed it like a different base script, it wouldn't be necessarily as aggressive in the beginning. But no, that's really good feedback. I love that. Okay. What else y'all got? Any other questions or like things you're like, wow, why did it say that? Or, why did it do this? Or, I want to give it a shot.
Mm.
I think it's super cool, and I think it's pretty amazing. And just for where you got it right now, I can only imagine where it's going to get to. I just it felt a little scripty, if I'm just being honest, right? Not being critical or anything, but it felt scripty, as I'm sure it's supposed to, like she was reading off a piece of paper. Is there any way you can mess with her like inflection in her voice and stuff to like change stuff like that, or no? Is it always sound kind of monotone, or?
I love that. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, we can actually mess with her voice a little bit. We can change different voices and have accents. There'll be one day, probably in a couple months, where I'll be able to train it in another language, but that's definitely something I'll work on. So for you, Chris, when you say it sounds scripty, was it just the tone, or was it anything else that you felt, hey, this makes it sound a little scripty? Or was it just like the inflection?
I think it's just the inflection, and she pronounced every word perfectly. You know what I mean? And hey, thanks a lot for saying that. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's great, dude. I'm super impressed. Don't get me wrong.
So this bot is basically, I've trained it on all real estate stuff. So all our scripts, all of our objection handlers, all of that stuff. But it feeds directly into ChatGPT. If we wanted to feed it other material, we could. I don't know if it would know. I don't know the answer to what is E equals
Yeah,
E, but
I was gonna say that, dude. You could throw that on anyone that's calling you about real estate and ask them that question. Be like, I don't know.
right now it's in the very early stages. So what I built right out of the box is a cold caller, or like a very basic follow-up manager that it can set an appointment for a lead manager to jump in. So this isn't meant to replace a high-level lead manager or someone who's about to be closing or going into the depths of creative finance. It's meant to basically be able to handle any inbound calls so your company's not missing any calls. It's meant to follow up with leads that your team can't handle the bandwidth of, and basically get in the basic information and pushing that lead forward, pushing that follow-up forward, so that you don't have to focus on it. Is it going to know like math and physics? No. Is it the most advanced that it can be yet? Absolutely not. Are we going to keep working on it to basically make it more advanced? Yes. And if you feed in an objection that it can overcome now, can we train it on that and how to get better at that? Absolutely. And real quick, guys, before Charles jumps on with the bot, after it gets off the call, it puts a summary right here in our system for us. So it literally tells us like, hey, who was it talking to? What was the summary of the call? And it even puts like a quick call recording here so that we can go listen to it and basically like, have like a QA department, a quality assurance to make sure, hey, how is it performing? Was it a good call? Was it a bad call? What things do we need to go retrain it on? And then it even tells you if it achieved the primary objective right there.
Hey,
Okay.
Thank you for reading my mind, dude. That was my next question. That's awesome.
Yeah.
in regards to that, Olu, if they say like, "Hey, call me back at 4 p.m. on Tuesday," is there any way to like make the bot schedule that time?
Yeah, so I didn't connect it to my calendar, but you can basically connect it so if someone says like certain action words or if it gets to a certain part of a call or if our bot says a certain line of words, it can trigger an action to go start the appointment booking process and it'll basically look at your calendar to see what times you have available and it can even book something on there if we like connect it together.
You're such a gangster.
Hey, I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, the one that does the texting and call and like emailing and stuff, uh that one does it perfectly. And so this one we wanted it to do the same thing or like trigger the texting bot to do it. So let me have it call Charles real quick. All right, Charles, please just put your phone on speaker so we can hear the call.
Okay, I'm waiting. There it just came in. And for some reason, it didn't connect.
All right,
So
let me have
I'm on a voice over IP. Is that going to have an effect?
as long as you have a good connection, it should still be fine. I've called it on my Google Voice a couple of times.
Do it.
Well, let's have a follow-up call tomorrow, person to person, Olu. I've got some ideas for you.
I love it, man. I appreciate it. Let's do it. All right. So Brian, it is on its way to your oh wait, is this still a good number for you, bro?
Hey, bro. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, Brian.
Hello? Who's this?
Hey, how's it going? This is Mary. I heard from one of our referral companies that you might be interested in selling your property. Is that correct?
Maybe. Depends on the price.
I completely understand. The price is definitely an important factor. Before we get into that, can you confirm if you're able to hear me okay? The phone connection has been a bit wonky today.
I feel you. It's like my attitude.
You're stupid. I feel you. No worries, let's dive into it. So by the end of this call, I'll either be able to give you an offer appointment or let you know why your property doesn't qualify. Sound fair?
Sure. How long is it going to take?
I appreciate your time. The call shouldn't take too long, maybe around 10 to 15 minutes. Is that all right with you?
I only got 5. Getting ready for dinner.
No problem, Brian. Great. Before we dive into the details, let me quickly give you my contact information. My name is Mary, and I'm with company name. You can reach me at phone number. Our website is website URL. Got that?
Got it.
Awesome. Now let's talk about the property. Is there anyone currently living in the property?
Nope. Tree fell on it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. How long ago did the tree fall on the property?
About a couple months. I almost died.
Wow, that must have been a scary experience. I'm glad to hear that you're okay. So What made you consider selling the property after the incident?
I don't have the time to rip the tree out of the house. Too much work. I'm 90 years old.
I completely understand. It can be a lot of work to deal with the repairs and maintenance, especially at your age. How long have you been thinking about selling the property?
What do you mean by that? My age?
I apologize if I wasn't clear. What I meant was, how long have you been considering the idea of selling the property? Is it something that has been on your mind for a while?
Just since a tree fell on it.
Got it. So the tree incident made you start thinking about selling the property. I can understand why that would be a concern. Now, if you were to sell the property, what would it help you accomplish or do for you?
Free up the headache. I ain't gonna do nothing with it. Thinking about listing it.
I hear you, Brian. I think that makes sense. Listing it with an agent is definitely an option you can consider. However, it's important to keep in mind that it might take some time, possibly even 30, 60, or even 90 days on the market. Plus, there are closing costs, commissions, repairs, and the possibility of financing falling through. As an investment company, we aim to provide a win-win deal that makes sense for both parties. Does that sound like something worth discussing further?
Yeah, it depends on the price.
Absolutely, the price is a crucial factor. Before we get into that, let me ask you, if we were to take care of all the closing costs and buy the property as is, what do you feel would be a fair price for it?
Probably about 80 grand. It's in a nice area.
I appreciate you sharing that, Brian. Just to clarify, are there any specific repairs or updates that you think would be necessary for the property? And on a scale of 1 to 10,
the tree fell on it.
how would you rate the... Right, the tree
Destroyed.
incident caused some damage to the property. I can understand why that would affect the value. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being in excellent condition, how would you rate the current condition of the property?
A -4. A tree fell on it. Destroyed it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That must have been devastating. I'm really sorry to hear about the damage caused by the falling tree. Given the extent of the destruction, it's understandable that you're considering selling the property. Now let's talk about the timeline. If we were to make an offer that meets your expectations, when would you ideally like to open escrow? Are you looking to sell within the next 30 days, or would you prefer a longer timeline?
No, the sooner the better.
I understand, Brian. Time is of the essence for you. We'll keep that in mind. Now, before we proceed, I want to briefly discuss a few things that might prevent us from moving forward. Is it okay if we touch on those for a moment?
Sure.
Sure thing, Brian. Let's shift gears for a moment. Imagine that you like our offer and decide to move forward. What would be the next thing you would have to figure out?
Where you're going to send my money to.
Great question, Brian. If we come to an agreement and move forward with the sale, we can discuss the details of where you would like the funds to be sent. We can work together to ensure a smooth and secure transaction. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, I just want something quick though. I don't want to tie my property up and waste my time. I mean, it's as is, you know. Tree fall on it. There's really nothing else to worry about. So you guys gonna try to ask for inspection periods or what?
I get it, Brian. You want to make sure, not quite posteroids, but I understand what you mean. We're experienced in dealing with properties in various conditions, including those affected by natural incidents like falling trees. Our goal is to make the process as hassle-free and efficient as possible for you.
Yeah. So how much time do you need to close if you're giving me an offer that I like?
That's a great question. Absolutely, Brian. Once we have all the necessary information and evaluate the property, we can provide you with an offer that meets your expectations. The timeline for closing would depend on various factors, but we strive to make the process as efficient as possible. Is there a specific time frame you have in mind?
Yeah, let's close tomorrow. Tree fell on it, pretty much buying dirt. I don't see a reason you guys need to do anything else. Send me some cash and let's go.
I wish it were that simple, Brian. However, we need to go through the proper evaluation process to determine a fair offer for your property. Once we have all the necessary information, we can discuss the next steps and potential options. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
No, I mean, how much time do you guys need to go look at a house that a tree fell on?
I see what you mean now. Typically, we can schedule a visit to the property within the next couple of days to assess the condition and gather all the necessary information. After that, we'll be able to provide you with a more accurate timeline for the offer and closing process. Does that work for you?
Yeah, you want to go out and just check the property out and give me a call when you got a price for me?
Absolutely, Brian. I can definitely arrange a visit to the property to assess the condition. Once we have all the information we need, I'll give you a call with the offer details. Is there a specific time that works best for you for the property visit?
I mean, I don't need to be there. You just drive by it and look at it. Could you water the tree?
I apologize for any confusion, Brian. As an investment company, we typically don't physically visit the properties before making an offer. However, we can certainly gather information about the property and assess its condition based on the details you provided. Rest assured, we'll take all factors into consideration when determining a fair offer. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
No, that'd be it. Let me know when you're ready to close. What the price is.
Will do, Brian. I appreciate your patience, Brian. I'm going to take a moment to discuss the details with my team and evaluate the property. Once we have a fair offer, I'll give you a call back to discuss the price. Sound good?
Sounds great. You've been a pleasure.
Perfect. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate your kind words. It's been a pleasure speaking with you as well. Have a great day.
You as well.
Thank you. Take care and have a wonderful day, Brian.
You too. Enjoy your dinner.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Enjoy your day and take care.
Thanks.
All right, Brian. So what do you think, man? What's your feedback on that?
I think it's great. I mean, it's pretty fast to respond. There's a couple repetitive factors in there that if I was a homeowner, it would have irritated me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but other than that, like it's super fast to respond, even with the quirky answers or questions that I had. Like, she came back pretty quick, dude.
Yeah, 100%. I appreciate you having that call and talking about some of those things because it makes me want to basically like feed the prompt like an escape route. If someone is talking about the same thing a couple of times, or if you're about to don't repeat things basically, and just push the conversation or teach her how to deflect. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. I like that. Any
Yeah.
other feedback on that? Like specific parts or specific things that you felt like, dang, it missed this part.
I think the biggest thing on it is the lag. Dude, there's not a real bad lag. Like, that's where, like, I respect what you're saying, Charles, but the common person isn't throwing out random ass questions. I think what a lot of people look for is like that lag response and the inadequate answers when somebody's calling or whatever. I think all in all, the quickness is what's impressive to me. That would keep me going and answering the questions. And I like the tone and I like the giggles because it makes it seem a little real.
Yeah,
She's very good at listening.
Yeah, I made sure she that's the biggest part about this, right? That's the biggest part that people mess up on calls is just not listening. So I tried to like really make sure she knew to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. So
And that's what's cool is because like I carried the tree factor because it's not a common thing and she picked it up right away. So
yeah, you did like identify something for me like, hey, if someone mentions like a disastrous item on the property, like go past condition, like we know it needs repairs, like just move on. So that's something I'll probably show her too because she was asking about the condition probably two more times. So
yeah, and that's what would have lost me right there because I'm like, dude, a tree fell on it. Well, could you tell me and rate it? Yeah, negative, you know. So
yeah, I get it at the same time because like, what if the tree just fell on like a part of it? You know what I'm saying? The extension or the shed. But no, you're right. So no, I'm gonna go back and train her on that for sure.
You never know. Like that's something that's so subjective, you know, too. Like you never know how much damage there is.
And it's absolutely right. And that's why when I was leading in, I said it destroyed the house towards the end.
I like Brian when you said it was a -4. Like I was laughing my ass off. I mean, that was like perfect that you like did that, and then she kind of went, "Okay, I get it."
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. I'm kind of a smart ass anyway, so
Yeah, welcome to my life, guys.
Sorry, Patty. Sending prayers up for you. A second.
I
Oh,
feel those every day from you.
yeah, I love it. I'm sorry. I'm just reading these notes. Dang, it wrote down all the quotes and stuff here too. Okay, perfect. So,
Hey,
guys, yes,
so
absolutely.
when you originally called me, the number came up as a spam call. Is there any way to change the number to a local number? And also, is there a way to maybe change the number to where it's the business name?
So right now we can change the number, and we can like get different numbers in here. There's no way to change like the business name right now, but we can change the phone number that it's calling from if it's one that's been flagged as spam or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that's something that'll come down the line, but right now we can change those things. See another thing I gotta update here too. But yeah, any other questions or feedback on it so far?
So what do you anticipate in terms of a rate structure or a pricing fee for this?
I'm not 100% sure yet. I think as it goes on, we'll kind of figure out like the different models. I know it's pretty intense to like set up, so setting up the bot, training it, connecting it to your system. So probably like just a small setup fee, and then if you want someone to manage it for you, something like that. But overall, I think it would be cheaper than having, a team of VAs making calls for you. I'm not saying don't have VAs. I still think you should have like humans making calls, especially like having this bot tee up calls for those VAs or tee up calls for you. But I think that this bot, it can make unlimited calls. It's available 24/7. You can train it on things one time and you don't have to repeat it. So for, calls that are very, repetitive or kind of the same conversation, it makes sense to have someone in this role because then it allows you to, have a smaller team, still do as much volume as you want, maybe more than you could with even one, two, three VAs, and still have your VAs focus on getting better, higher level skills. So that's kind of the focus for me is having it be on the lower level now and then slowly training it to start taking higher level calls. So talking to agents, talking about creative finance and like setting appointments to, dive deeper into that stuff. Maybe one day it'll make offers, but right now I wouldn't let it, make an offer. Just like I don't let the text bot make an offer. I don't think it's ready to make the offer yet. I think the humans should still deliver that.
So is she trained on like is this bought for foreclosures or is it specific to anything?
So I just trained it generally on real estate acquisitions. So basically what I did is I trained it the same way I would like any lead manager that would be joining my team. I gave it a couple of different scripts. I gave it some training from Steve Trang. I gave it some call recordings from myself and some of my VAs on actual calls with sellers, like 20, 30-minute calls, and let it like ingest that. And then I gave it like 60 plus objections that we commonly see in the industry and just let it build a knowledge base out of all of that stuff. So it has like real conversations that it's listening to. I could feed it calls from Pace. I could feed it VAs means virtual assistant. So from my like lead managers or from my cold callers making calls, I took calls that they had and that I had with actual homeowners about creative and about cash, and I basically fed that to the systems so it could build a knowledge base around it.
So then would she go through like how we're supposed to go through like okay have you been notified by the city that you're in foreclosure? Like does she do any of that?
Oh yeah, I could easily have her do that. Like if someone was like, "Oh, there's a foreclosure coming up." Like I could basically just give her the foreclosure training or a foreclosure call, and
Yeah.
then now that's in her knowledge base. Now she understands it and knows it, and you don't have to like teach her on it again. You just have to fine tune it. So if you go through the foreclosure conversation with her and she messes up or she says something that's weird, like that's why I did this call, right? Like I want to launch this and have it like calling for my leads and other people, so that's why I did this call so that y'all can jump on especially my guy Brian. I know he's a beast on the phone. And just see some like different areas it might trip up in. Because tonight and tomorrow, now I got this call. I'm about to go retrain it. You know what I'm saying, and get it like more advanced, and just have it get better. So
Yeah, because she picked up on the realtor thing right away. Like she immediately
Yeah.
like, said, okay, like that blew me away. Like she was in there immediately going, that's great, that's a great option, but it could take 30, 60, or 90 days. Like how fast do you want to sell?
You
So
know,
that was
that's actually a really good point because she said that, and at first I am a realtor too, and I'm like, damn, that sucks. I don't even want to list. Like, it was actually well played. Like, she made it sound very exhausting to go list with a realtor. The good note. I forgot about that.
yeah, that was great.
yeah, she was definitely on point with that one. Yeah,
You
so
must
basically,
have went extra on that one, bro, because she came hard on that realtor aspect.
oh yeah, scorch the earth. I'm gonna teach you how to scorch earth with other wholesalers. Oh, you got another offer? Oh, great. Okay. Did they send you earnest money? Was it a written offer? Right? Like,
That's almost where I was kind of going towards the end. Like, dude, just give me a fast offer. Like, kind of seeing what she would do.
I'm gonna basically teach her to book an appointment if someone says that. Like if they say it more than once, like
Yeah.
she'll have a way to she knows how to overcome it now, like you heard it. But what I'll have her do is, hey, if you hear something more than like an objection more than 2 times, book an appointment, right?
Yeah,
Or forward the call to is whoever's team it is, right?
that's
But
cool.
the cool thing about this, like you could upload a list, it could call all the people at the same time.
That's what.
Also with her, if she calls like how she called Charles and she didn't get him and she don't get a number, nobody picks up. Is she able to maybe send a text message since they didn't pick up, maybe send a text message?
So we could trigger the REI unlock system to do that. She's just a caller, so she could talk to
Okay.
the Chat GPT texter. They're separate like systems. They're separate like robots. So she would have to basically just say, "Oh, like failed call. Call was less than 60 seconds. Send a text message to the person that contacted us." Like
And you
right
would be
now,
able to train her to send the message to, the other bot to send the text message.
yeah, exactly. So what you could it literally be as simple as that, saying, "Hey, if the call was less than 60 seconds, but it was answered, right? Or certain statuses, you now have it trigger the Chat GPT bot to send it a message, right? Or trigger a follow-up campaign, or trigger a call to someone on your team and they hear the call and they're like, "Hey, the bot had a call that was less than 60 seconds. Press any key to connect to the seller." And you press a button and it would literally call the homeowner. One of the biggest challenges for me was getting it to do it with the click of a button. So I'm like super, because now you can do it in bulk. You could literally select all your contacts and add that tag to like as many people as you want. And it's just up to as many credits that you have to spend on the calls and how much server capacity there is to handle all those calls. And now you can call a whole list at once with one VA. Like crazy.
And so is it able to parse that list into appointment times?
Like once they book it,
Yeah.
yeah, so it looks at your calendar. If it's gonna book an appointment, it's gonna make sure that there's no like conflicts. But you have to like when I'm setting it up, you have to tell me like which calendars to look at. So if it's like an appointment that's not on there, it'll still book in that time if it's available.
So
Oh, ideas.
when you're using like the smartphone and you can like use multiple numbers to call at once and it automatically hangs up when somebody answers, right? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the multi-line dialers. So if it multi-calls, will it talk to multiple people at once?
Yes, because it's just software. Like it's just server capacity, right? So as much server capacity you have, it can have that many conversations, right? Once it hits server capacity, it's going to start hitting errors or not calling people. But it could be on the phone at the same time with Heather, Brian, and Diane. Like if I highlight, actually, let me test this real quick. So I'll have it call both you guys at the same time.
There you go.
So I'm gonna do Heather. Okay,
You want us
and
to answer?
you guys can if you want. That would probably sound really hectic on Zoom, but if you want to, you know. All right, so test. I'm gonna call it.
I'll just set my phone away from it, but see if it carries on combos between both of us.
Let's do it. So this I just selected 3 of you guys right here, and I just added the tag, and I'm just calling it test. And so the other way we set it up to make it easy is in the system, we put like if it answers a call and has it for more than a certain amount of time, it also leaves a tag on it in addition to the note. So it'll say, oh, the AI answered the call, like it had a conversation, so that you can go in your system and basically know how to know or know which ones it was talking to, basically.
Is it just a written transcript, or could you go back and actually listen to the call recording as well?
Yeah, you can. You can go back and listen to the call recording.
You calibrate your AI bot, bro?
Bro, that's exactly what the plan is, because it can just get smarter and smarter over time. And once you train it on something once, you don't have to go back and retrain it, and it doesn't forget.
So it's self-learning, or do you have to go in and make the edits? Like a lot of the stuff that happened on these calls, do you have to go back in and do a bunch of editing on that and formatting, or what?
I won't have to do a lot at all. Like it'll learn from some of it, but at the same time, I do have to go and feed it some things. Like there's certain things that you said that I have to tell it, because it's always gonna try to be helpful. So if you're saying something, it's not gonna like try to ignore you, but I have to tell it now, hey, if someone mentions something 2 or 3 times, take an action, right?
Gotcha.
Versus, continuing on and on and on and on, right? So, but yeah, you can just hit this call recording link here, and then we can go back and now we can hear the call. And that summary is from the transcript. So the call is all transcribed. I just feed it to ChatGPT and basically give ChatGPT a prompt on how to summarize the call. And so you can hear the whole thing there. And so I could basically download that call and I can now go feed it to the system. So now it knows how to have the call better. But yeah, so it takes the notes and just summarizes the transcript. So let me go back and then I will trigger the call to all of y'all again.
Very cool.
Yes, sir.
How accurate are the transcripts?
So as accurate as any transcript is going to be. It's AI, so it's a little bit more advanced, but if you have a rough connection, it's going to get some words garbled for sure.
Yeah.
I was just curious if it was like my voicemail transcript, because that's trash.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely better than that.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey there. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Mary, and I'm calling about the property you mentioned.
Yeah, possibly.
Here, reaching out to homeowners like yourself.
That's pretty dope, dude.
Dang, y'all are both talking to it. That's
dope.
let's
Yeah.
go.
That's actually pretty cool.
Let's go. That's dope. So listen, like you hire one person or you hire one bot and now it's having 2 conversations at once or however many you send it out on. So
Yeah.
That was cool.
How does she do when someone has an accent?
I feel like I should turn my camera on.
bring me someone with an accent. Let's test it out.
Come on.
If I test it, it'd probably just sound really offensive, so I'm not gonna do that.
Olu, one question. When she first answered, Brian answered, she didn't confirm that was him.
She just says
So-
a first name. So if it's not their
Right.
name, they would say something else, and you know what I'm saying, or just have a fake conversation.
Yeah. On this one, she just said hello, human, because she didn't have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think she did on the first call. That one I didn't really pay attention to. I was paying more attention to the call syncing up between me and Heather. I didn't listen to what she was saying.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
and I guess it's up to you what you would want. I would not want someone on my team to ask if this is the homeowner. Like I wouldn't even want a human to ask that question on a call. But if you wanted it to, it could ask that. But me personally, like I wouldn't train my team to ask that because it like creates a barrier between you and the seller when we're trying to kind of be like shoulder to shoulder with them. So it's up to you what you wanted to say. It could definitely we could train it to say that. I
I don't know, because
personally
just
have it do
thinking,
that.
to verify that is actually the person you're supposed to talk to, the owner. Because there is people that I've spoken to that would pretend and go along with me, and they're not the owner.
Yeah, that's happened to me too. I mean, I guess it's just like how many times has that happened to you? Because for me, like I've made thousands and thousands of calls, and it's probably happened to me like I could count it on like one hand how many times, maybe two, right? So, I mean, we could train it to do that. I guess just from my perspective, we could do that. Like if I was setting up the bot for you, we could literally just put that line in there so it verifies, hey, are you this person that I'm supposed to be talking to? We could
But
definitely do that for you.
but you do that later in the
Okay.
conversation when they're asking if there's anybody else
Right.
that's required to make the decision, right? So you do get to it.
Yeah, and I think that
I
if
guess
you
so.
and I think that like even if you're a human, if someone is pretending on the other line with you, how are do you really want to like I don't know how to say this. Like
Challenge them.
yeah, because you don't want to create that barrier. What if they say, "Oh,
Attention.
like I'm his wife," or "Oh, I'm the uncle, cousin, I'm the power of attorney," whatever, right? They could say any number of things. Um, we don't necessarily want to create that like distance between us and them, even if they're not that person. If our data is good that we're pulling the data that we're getting from wherever we're getting it, it should be quality enough to that we're talking to someone that if they're not the decision maker, they're close to that decision maker. But if I was setting this up for you and you're like, hey, Olu, I want that bot to say that absolutely every time, we could set it to do that.
That's the other thing that would be an interesting call to see if you're not speaking to the right person. Like it's the right address, but it's
Hmm.
not the person, like it's somebody else answered their phone or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like like you're their wife or something. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
I'm
Or the
Bob, but
girlfriend.
I'm
Like it's the girlfriend and she has nothing to do with the house. You know what I mean?
Pissed off
yeah.
at husband.
So
Does someone try that?
there's two aspects to that. Getting a spouse who's tired of the house and yet the husband's the owner could create leverage in a positive way. So I hear what Olu's saying. You want to be shoulder to shoulder with the person on the other end, really, no matter who it is. The thing that you want to get to stop happening, like when I call in my other business world and I talk to a secretary, I'm always wondering, is the secretary acting as a barrier to entry or is she actually going to deliver the message?
Facts. Yes. What are some ways that you do on a call, Charles, to confirm that she's going to do that?
It's interesting. I always am in sort of wing it mode. I think what I would probably do is say words to the effect of how soon can I set an appointment and expect to get into this conversation with this person. I would set an expectation somewhere to confirm that it got to that person in some way, shape, form, or manner. Or if I have a hesitancy mindset about me and I just did this, I would write out a letter and I would send it through snail mail directed with the attention to that person. And hopefully it gets past the gate, so to speak, or the barrier to entry that way. But I think I would probably say, when can I set an appointment to talk to this person?
Okay, great. No, I love that, man. And it does say that at the end of the call. The other thing it does is it sends back to us the status of the call. So if we can set up different objectives. So the objective of this call is to get an appointment booked. And so if the appointment isn't booked, it'll say in the notes like objective achieved, false. And so what we could have it do is, hey, if the objective wasn't achieved, we could have it in the back end in here now go do different things. So right here, primary outcome achieved, false. So it didn't book like an appointment with Brian. It just said, hey, we're gonna call you back with offer details because the appointment didn't go to the calendar because I didn't set it up. Because it's just a test. But here, for example, it's saying false. Now we get that message back. Now we can tell the system, hey, it didn't achieve the objective. Either go set a task in the system for someone on the team to go follow up, right? So it automatically already set a task here. Or it could say, hey, objective wasn't achieved. Send a text message saying, hey, we really want to find a way to solve your problem or get your household or, whatever the business is. And kind of have that follow up, or maybe even someday have it trigger some sort of custom direct mail piece out of the system. I think that would be amazing. Um, so we can have it do different things if it doesn't achieve this objective. But I do think that's an interesting point. Y'all are giving me so many ideas, man. I gotta say.
You just let me get it to knock on doors now.
Oh my God, that would be.
They got Amazon
scary.
robots delivering your goods, so
Yeah.
next we're gonna have some AI robots doing the door knocking.
Bro,
Oh my gosh.
They're gonna be
So-
walking callers.
I want the cold call as an agent, bro. I want them to call me as an agent. Let me know when you're ready for that one.
Oh, like calling agents and talking about creative?
Just calling agents in general.
I got you, bro. Give me like 2-3 weeks.
I'll be your agent, bro.
Let's go. And then after that, I need a Spanish speaker. So
I can't help you there.
Yes, I got you a Spanish speaker too.
thank you. Let's go.
Too. Brian's lacking on his team right now. I mean, we got
Dang,
two.
shots fired, Patty. Oh my God.
Well, we were just talking about how we have the aggressive one, the sweet female, not me, Malin. And then we got our Spanish speaker. We just got to get him all the way on the team.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so Christina, right? Sorry, did I butcher? Christina, let's go. So you speak Spanish. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna be giving you a call. Let's go. Do you wanna test out the bot real quick before? I know we've been on here an hour. I don't know when everyone has to jump off, but anyone else who wants to test it, like I'm all game. Like, let's go. Oh, she's
Better than a
driving.
movie. Let's keep going.
Someone give it some, like, we got some crazy ideas. Whoever's been on here, like, thinking, man, I want to say some stuff to it. Like, let's go. Give it some heat. Oh, I will. I definitely will. Like, we'll be doing some work together. I'll
Olu
call you.
recruit right now, dude.
So
Olu always hustling.
if the seller says that they've already sold property, what's the next?
Do it.
Where
You
does
want
it
to call her, Patty?
Fuck it, call me.
All right. Let's
I'm in.
go. Add you in here.
And Patty, interrupt her a lot. Let's see what happens.
Patty, yeah, ask her if she's a bot.
Yes, please. Please
I
ask
love
her
the
if she's a
spirit,
bot.
Patty.
That
Patty, what number do you want? It's a call.
You can just have a call. Man.
yeah,
Oh, the same one? Okay.
yeah, it's fine.
I'll put some questions in the chat as we go.
Oh yeah,
Deal.
we
Now-
nightly
now-
dialing right now.
Now I gotta actually get in front of you. Blind.
We nightly dialing.
Pretty much, bro. All right, here we go. All right.
Totally reverse. You're helping the seller get better, not the caller.
Right.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, Patty.
Yes.
Hey there. How are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
Great to hear. Yeah. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. So, as I was saying, our referral company thought we would be a good fit for you and mentioned that you might be wanting to sell your property. Is that correct?
You know what? I actually already sold that property.
Out of
Would it-
curiosity, may I ask you a little bit?
It just sold about 2 weeks ago.
Got it. Thanks for letting me know. I apologize for the confusion. The referral company must have provided outdated information. I appreciate your time. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
Nope, that is it.
All right, no problem at all. If you ever have any questions or need assistance in the future, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.
You too.
She missed one part.
Yep.
Yeah.
She missed one part.
Do you have
any other
anything else to
properties?
sell?
Come on.
Yep. And do you know anyone We'll pay you a fee. So there we go. There's a note for myself. So now I'm gonna give her that.
Well, that's number one. Do you have any other properties to sell first, man?
And
Yeah, absolutely.
another thing
Or are
that
you looking to buy?
you do is, are you looking to buy? Then that'll add to your buyers list.
There we go. There's 3 questions we need to hit her with. Hey, before we go, just a few more questions.
Yeah. Right? That's Brian's whole thing is, are you looking to sell? No. Cool. Are you looking to buy anything else? Yes. All right, rad. Let's talk. So
I love it. Let's go. I'm about to feed it that. Next time, Patty, gonna have you. Gonna catch you slipping. Who wants to ask it if it's an AI or who has other objections?
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry.
All good. That was good. Like you hit it right away, interrupted it and everything. Like I learned some stuff. I got some stuff to go feed it. That was a great call.
You want to hit it, Lily? Want to go?
Anybody else feeling the rhythm, feeling the vibe?
I wish I wasn't in the car still, dude. I wanna talk to that bot bad.
I am not even really itching.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'll probably do another one of these like next week once I make it a little bit more advanced. I'm gonna have it like have a whole conversation with Charles and feed it that conversation so it knows every objection to face. And then jump on with Brian and Patty, feed it some AI stuff and all the stuff we talked about today. And yeah, we'll probably definitely do another one of these. We'll absolutely do one once it's ready to talk to agents and knows more about creative. Actually, I'm curious about that. Maybe someone gives it some tough objections, or it does mention terms if you mention your asking price enough. Um, I don't know. Maybe someone wants to tap and see about that. What y'all got? If not, like all good. I'll go back and train it. We'll jump on here another day, and we'll keep rocking this out, getting it better. I'm gonna start having it go on campaigns next week, and so we'll have those calls too. So who knows?
Hey,
Good
has anyone said to all of you yet today that you're amazing? And
Yeah.
Olu, this has been really cool. I'm looking forward to it.
I appreciate it, man. Absolutely, bro. I thank you. Thank you for showing up, like 100%. Thank all of you guys for tapping in with me and, spending some time here together. Y'all are beautiful.
I know.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
I think it's
Absolutely.
awesome what you're doing, dude. Very, very cool. I'm impressed, bro.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for having
Absolutely. 100%. Thank y'all for the feedback.
You're the best, Olu.
You're welcome.
Let's go.
Anything we
And
can do to help.